Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley and I have a treat for you. This is going to be a massive battle, myself and Indie Pride facing off, and we actually used a combination of mods that allow you to play as Mousillon. So what that is it's Vampire Counts meets Bretonnia. The zombies are all decked out with these awesome skins, looking super frightful. If you look at the skeleton warriors as well, they're gonna be sporting the Bretonnia colors. And I always found it funny how the skeletons kind of walk in lockstep like this. I think someone had explained it to me that it's kind of due to the fact how they're controlled by a necromancer, and it kind of just makes them seem more mechanical, more controlled. Although I do kind of prefer the walking / shambling of these zombies. Really creepy as well. I have a vampire walking alongside my forces, so it's actually really cool that we have Mousillon here. So they're going to be charging forward. Just my weaker troops, zombies, skeleton spearmen, more zombies, kind of all moving forward. I also have so I have the vampire over here, and then I have a white king who also gets customized stuff. He's looking pretty dope. Anyways, who are we facing off against? Well, we're charging forward, and we're going up against some gore beasts here. So that's an indication that we're going to be fighting against chaos. So they're just going to plow through my zombies. Meanwhile, in the distance, more troops are going to be charging forward. So like I said previously, this is going to be against chaos. So Indie Pride is charging forward. I'll put this on slow motion. Gore beasts going to be charging straight into me. You have Chaos Knights, and you have an Exalted Hero moving forward. So all of that is underway. I do have some hidden forces here: Black Knight, Lances, and Barding. We can also take a look at these. They also do get the additional change to their skin. Oh my god, these look so cool. Freaking awesome. Mousillon is such a cool faction to have here. And then I have more kind of reserves in the back. Skeleton Warriors, whole cluster of those. Graveguard with great weapons. I have 2 Vargulfs. I have a Black Coach. I have Crypt Hordes. Tons of stuff. But let's watch the beginning of the onslaught as it gets underway. And I cannot get enough of these. Oh my god. Like I said, I cannot get enough of these reskins. They look so sweet. The gore beast. They always remind me of some like weird kink BDSM thing. You got a guy encased in leather and metal with straps on, and the dude riding behind him and whipping him. It's just, I mean, Slaanesh is powerful and strong with this one. So this is pretty much just a reskin. You won't necessarily see any new units when it comes to Mousillon. It's just gonna be a reskin, like I said, for now. Now I have some of my knights charging in from the flank. They're gonna get underway. Here we go, charging around the side. I'm gonna try and get in on the rear of these forces. Gonna go for a hammer and anvil on the Chaos Knights. Really freaking sweet stuff. Let's get a nice epic shot of the forces dueling with that necromantic tower there glowing in the background. Just the atmospherics in this are unfreaking believable. So this is the initial teaser of a fight. More gore beasts getting thrown in. The Exalted Hero here starting to take some damage, but mostly I've thrown in my Black Knights and my cheap units in the mix. You are seeing spells cast from my Wizard who was pulled in, my Necromancer. So Indy and I decided that we weren't going to be casting direct damage spells, but we are going to be, or at least against Lords. Mostly we're going to be casting debuff spells to drive down, well, obviously the enemy's stats. So Curse of Years, taking away melee attack. More of these Chaos Knights are going to be pulling in, and one of the cool things you'll notice from Chaos, one of the mods that we have enabled, allows you to play as a Lord of Change. So you're going to be seeing this badass guy that you would otherwise only see in the campaign making his way over to the battlefield. He is a beast to behold. with the tentacles on the ground too. Never actually as you guys have seen, I've been playing the campaign, but haven't actually gotten this far ahead. God, this looks so freaking cool. This is such a cool unit. I've never seen this before until it was this battle. And so he's contemplating getting in the fight, and so now here he comes, making huge strides, leaving tentacles in his wake, and I can't wait till we see some more Chaos Forces, Chaos Demons, not just the Chaos Warriors. He's going to be casting crazy amounts of stuff here, egging on his warriors. So one of the abilities is going off right in and amongst my guys, just taking out huge clusters of them. Although the Curse of Year is also doing a fair amount of damage. Having my Vampire in the mix, also going to prove very effective. She's a great melee specialist. So this is going to be dueling those Chaos Knights. But in any case, this is just the opening stages, the opening salvos, as the Gore Beast and my fodder units deal with these forces. The Exalted Hero is down pretty low. Here's the main Chaos Force in the distance, the Lord of Change, just watching his fellow guys as they rip my units apart. The front ranks have been demolished, but that's fine. Like I said, it was just the entree. Here comes the rest of my guys charging forward. Skeletons in tow, Graveguard in the rear, Necromancer having fallen back to regroup with those men. And in the distance, the Hordes of Chaos also going to be moving up. You can take a look at what is going to be comprising their ranks. They have Chaos Warriors with Halberds, a whole rank of Forsaken. Indy loves bringing these guys in with their high attack stats. I mean, hard to not bring these, especially against the cannon fodder of the zombies. I mean, this will pair very well. Jeez. So that is what's coming in the front for the second wave of Indy. Chaos Warriors in the back. Chaos Warriors with great weapons. What I actually have hidden in the rear are going to be some Direwolves that I've kept in the back. So 2 forces. I did spread them out, and my intention is going to be going for this Hell Cannon as the battle gets underway. I do have to note that this map itself is really cool with the cliff overlooking this, all these other positions. I really wish CA had made sieges more like this, where there was an approach and just like a keep at the top that maybe was just facing this way, but then had other ways to maybe for having flying units fly over, where you could put archers in here just to make it more interesting. But in any case, it's going to be mostly a case of our forces facing off against each other. Let's stare down the ranks of the Mousillon. That's freaking creepy. So anyways, I've launched forward with my black coach. And what I decided to do is, well, if he's going to line up with Forsaken, then I'm going to take my anti-infantry units. Just want to put this on pause so we can get a nice shot of both of them kind of lined up, and we're going to get a dual charge with them. Boom, straight to the Forsaken. I'm going to start cutting them up. Forsaken are going to try and turn around and hit me, but I have this like Wraith chopping away at them. My other one here is going to get countercharged by the Chaos Knights with lances, so it's not going to be as effective a charge as I would have liked. More troops going to be pouring into the rear to try and support with great weapons, so this could be the end of this Black Knight. I'm desperately trying to pull out of this engagement, not being super effective. This one over here, plus 34 melee attack, plus 6 state charge, is going to be tearing holes through the Forsaken. So as long as he doesn't get tied down, which it looks like he's not going to be here, he's just going to be, you know, tearing it up. And this is all just trying to weaken Chaos as my skeletons stare off at them in the distance. Ooh, and you can see actually in the foreground, Vampire just kind of rallying her troops, standing in a mess of corpses. Just crazy stuff. I have my Necromancer charging forward on the left flank to get in on that fight. And then over here we have continued action. I did charge forward with a Vargle and some Crypt Horrors, and they're going to be chasing away some of the remaining chariots. On this front, we have the Lord of Change going to be fighting with the Chaos Warriors against some of my Black Knights with Barding. So we can watch some of his attacks. They're pretty cool. The effects on him, freaking sweet. For now, against cavalry and large units, he's going to kind of do this repeated attack, but you'll see later when he fights infantry, he has some wicked moves. and his health has been taken down pretty significantly just by the sheer numbers I've had here. Black coaches charging into the enemy. Over on this front, I'm casting all kinds of spell against the enemies. Soul Blight to strip armor and leadership from the Forsaken, so my skeleton warriors can deal with these Forsaken, although not sure how well they'll hold out. Cool contest nonetheless. Me charging in with my vampire, Immortal Will, which replenishes my health, is going to be crucial. So she's going to hold back this entire unit with halberds. Meanwhile, in this engagement, you're going to have Vargulf with Cryptors against Black Knights, or sorry, against Chaos Knights, Forsaken, Chaos with halberds. So this is a shit show in the making, essentially. The Cryptors are super strong, but halberds are a good counter as well, so we'll see how this goes. Man, this is monster against monster. This is one of the reasons I love Warhammer, is for battles like this. Such epic stuff. So, like I said, this is going to be a bit of a shit show. The Lord of Change has taken a fair amount of damage, but he did wrap up that flank. I'm going to be pouring more Vargulfs. He is casting spells against me. I now have weak binding and damage sustained, and a Vargulf is going to be challenging. Oh my god! Just smacking this Vargulf around. Looks like I'm going to want more. The Lord of Change seemingly running away from this bat. Not having it. We'll see if we can catch up. Yeah, probably safe bet for Indy to pull him back. So my Vargulf is not going to be left to deal with this massive blob of infantry. So while that's going on, Indy has finished carving through my front ranks. My skeleton warriors are no more. He's now pushing forward with the Chaos Warriors with halberds. But still in the mix, I have black coaches. So I'm holding out pretty well. He's going to have to divert more troops. And meanwhile, I have my Necromancer who's been casting spells. He's going to go ahead once more, fall back to the last group of men. And I do still have my Vampire. I threw her in somewhere. I'll have to try and keep an eye on her. But she was tearing it up, doing a lot of damage. But now the Lord of Change is going to be chasing away my guys. I am activating some of my direwolves in the back, so they're crumbling because they had targeted units in the rear, but I did take out yeah, there they go. I did take out the basically the Fell Cannon, not the Fell Cannon, whatever it's called, the Hell Cannon, excuse me. So now we're gonna have the big face off. Lord of Change in the distance, so cool. Gonna throw in my last skeleton unit, but let's take a look at some of these Mousillon Black Knights, sorry, Grave Guards. God, they look cool. What an epic combination. So here comes the charge. Underway. Indy's going to try and start wrapping around the flank with his Forsaken and other units. I have held down the center, and I'm going to pull in with my Necromancer. I do have enough reserve forces to charge in the side, and I do get some of my dire wolves into the back of this Chaos Force. So this is going to start tipping the odds in my favor. The Lord of Change was pulled off to this flank. He probably should have been held in the center to ward that off. He does ward me off, but I am finding a little gap to poke in with my Grave Guard. On this flank, Indy has committed so much stuff to try and beat me back. And here we go. This is my Vampire. She's still at full health. I keep popping Immortal Will, which replenishes her HP. And she's kind of one of the main reasons why I'm still holding out on this front. She's a total beast. Well, that and the actual beasts next to her. The Vargulf. I mean, look at this tag team pair. A girl and her pet bat. Two pet bats fighting off against halberds, Chaos Spawn, all kinds of units. So we're going to be fighting a losing engagement here, but it is definitely important that we tie down this many troops. Back to the center, abilities being cast. That is a crazy spell. A lot of my guys are going to be picking themselves back up. The Lord of Change here going to try and rally his men, but Chaos is breaking on this side where I was able to push through with Grave Guard. Grave Guard are very elite troops, so they're going to be seeing the Chaos Warriors off actually pretty handedly. It's a good thing I used so many of my fodder waves beforehand to get rid of the enemy units. And now when it comes down to the final key moments, I have the elite troops in full strength. My necromancer as well. Going to be charging into the mix here. I'm going to try and position himself in such a way that I can start to get in on a hammer and anvil with him. This old man is even going to get on the action. The Lord of Change, considering where to commit. He's been casting spells left and right, but he's going to need to get in on it. Another unit has been wiped out over here, so it's all going to be down to the Vargulf, single Vargulf, and my vampire, but the vampire is still at full strength. Meanwhile, Indy's forces are slowly being chipped away. Weak binding, damage sustained, halberds. So this is, once again, just buying me time. Meanwhile, I'm just collapsing Indy's front line. Forsaken are tired, they're weakened, and Graveguard with great weapons are going to make, carve swaths through here. And it's funny to see these guys with the shoulder armor with the little grail on it, something you'd assume would be only there for Bretonnia. But then again, that's what Mousillon is supposed to be. It's a mix of Bretonnia and the vampires. It's like a vampire faction down around Bretonnia that is using, well, the corpses of Bretonians. And now finally we do get to see the Lord of Change getting in against the infantry, and he has some freaking badass abilities. His strides are just so freaking scary. Oh, and look at the area of effect on that. So he should have been hammer and anviling more often. But then again, this Lord of Change was pretty weak, so I don't hold it against Indy why he didn't engage him earlier. But he is a beauty to behold. So there he goes, pulling out, winding himself up for perhaps another charge. But I have all but broken Indy's forces. This flank is still holding out with just a zombie. Ooh, and here he comes with another charge. Freaking crazy. Oh my god. So it looks like he's doing a lot of damage. And it's a lot of area effect, but at the end of the day, not that many of my guys are seemingly going down. So it's not too bad. Like this could be way worse. Although his magic ability does do a fair amount of damage. But I think now that I have him tied down, it's only a matter of time before I can wipe out this this Lord of Change. I think he's best used, well, in engagements like this, but seeing as he has so much speed and so much area of effect that he should really be ping-ponging between units, getting his charge bonuses off. Yeah, like that. Look how much freaking damage that did. Yeah, that's exactly how he should be engaging. Man, this freaking Lord is crazy. I'm having a hard time even getting any hits in. And my Necromancer is in the mix. Oh, he gets thrown to his feet as we try and fight off this tentacled beast. And there he goes, stomping off into the distance. Still alive, but at almost no health. Indy finally beat back my guys, killed my vampire, but at this point I have a solid clump of forces here. To the point where I don't think he can beat me. His units are now crumbling. The Lord of Change being the only unit left, now unleashing the fury of the gods. And I really can't wait, like I said earlier, to see more chaos demons as a race. And just see some really cool stuff coming out of that in terms of large models, unique abilities. Man, it could be really sweet. Let alone when we get to, factions like the Beastmen that people have started to uncover kind of buried files indicating that we'll be seeing the Beastmen, presumably the Wood Elves too, some of the tree forces that they have. God, Warhammer has me excited for the future potential. Ooh, and there goes the Lord of Change. Actually ended up going down here. I don't know if that's even possible in the lore, but we broke the lore and there we go, we did it. The bird, the great bird goes down. Graveguards here cheering, Mousillon Knights being the one to take it out. So they have just as much glory in the afterlife as they had in life. And my Necromancer here, very, very proud, posing seemingly with the corpse So I do hope you guys enjoy this. I will post the links to where you can pick up the mod that allows you to play not only as Mousillon, but actually unlocks kind of all the factions from the campaign map, and that's what kind of also unlocks this Lord of Change. Very, very fun stuff to be playing with. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, let's end the replay. Take a look at the limited stats, I guess, for now, just so you can see the build. I mean, I had 3,000 men. Indy had half of mine, and it was really down to the last couple hundred men in that fight. Look how many fodder units I threw into that, almost 2 full rows of just fodder crap that I threw into that mix. And he had a lot of quality units, but I think just this vampire, Indy devoted too many forces against it. He should have used his remaining Chaos Knights and whatnot to wrap around my units who are holding strong. It's the only way he could have evened the odds for his last wave. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, definitely check out these mods. Stay tuned for more. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.